Blockbuster, The Fall of a Giant. It's a Saturday night in 2004, and you have just walked into a Blockbuster video intent on renting Spider Man 2 on DVD. Unfortunately, every other person in your neighborhood has had the same idea, and all of the shelves are severely lacking in web slinging superheroes. After several minutes of standing in line with your second pick, a smiling clerk regretfully informs you that before you can bring home your copy of Shrek 2, you will have to pay a late fee. It was these problems that emerging technologies of the time were attempting and succeeding to solve. CEO John Antico was well aware of the rising competition, but when asked about Blockbuster's decline, he stated, "Is it going to be the death knell of video rental? I think the answer to that is no." 6 years later, Blockbuster would close its doors for the final time. Failure to adapt had slayed the video rental giant. In the year 2000, Blockbuster brought in more than $800 million in late fees. That same year, Blockbuster settled a class action lawsuit for $9.25 million. The practice of charging late fees for rentals was a source of contention for customers, who would sometimes rack up more in late fees than the original worth of the rental itself. Netflix founder Reed Hastings often claimed that it was a $40 late fee for the rental of Apollo 13 that inspired him to start Netflix. The lack of late fees and the convenience of ordering movies from the comfort of their own home drew many customers away from Blockbuster. Despite the success of Netflix's business model, the company offered to sell itself to Blockbuster in early 2000 and was promptly turned down. In 2004, Blockbuster's CEO finally recognized the growing threat that Netflix, and to a lesser extent Redbox, represented, and launched Blockbuster Online, a DVD by mail subscription service. Antico also eliminated Blockbuster's infamous late fees. The power of Blockbuster's brand and its massive video library, combined with the removal of its infamous late fees, drew many customers back to the giant and nearly crippled the fledgling Netflix. Shareholders saw the late fees as an important revenue stream and failed to see the importance of having a strong online presence. 1 year later, Antico would be ousted as CEO and replaced by Jim Keyes. Keyes reinstated late fees and moved the company's focus back to its brick-and-mortar locations. The reinstatement of late fees and the abandoning of its online business pushed even more customers towards their competitors. By 2008, the U.S. financial crisis was in full swing, and Blockbuster had more than $1 billion in debt. The financial climate and Blockbuster's looming debt finally forced the video rental company to declare bankruptcy in 2010. Today, all that remains of the one-time giant is one store in Bend, Oregon. A failure to recognize a changing market and to adapt to new technologies all but erased what was once a household name. Failure to adapt killed the video rental giant. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Any questions can be directed to andrewryannogle@gmail.com. Thank you very much.